I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I think that when you have a quote unquote weird job, it can be hard to feel justified making choices to take care of yourself and to support yourself and like to say you're worth it. Or like buying a new microphone or buying, you know, a sound booth or something. It can be really hard to justify because it feels like a fun thing that you're doing for this fun hobby. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, wait, this is my job and I'm investing in it to make it. Took me so long to get comfortable treating it like a job, like you would any other office job where like your printer broke and you need a new printer or whatever. Like you don't question that.
Yeah.
That's just how that works. But if you're like a streamer and your mic starts like shorting out and you're like, I don't know, should I? So Kate, tell me about your thought process like with this whole redesign.
Well, so this room was basically, this is my streaming room, this is my office, this is where I do all of my work. And for a long time, it was just like, this is a room for gaming. And so it has to look like a gamer's room. And it has to have like the dark gamer lights. And it has to have the LEDs. And it has to look like a Twitch stream. And back in like December, I was like, I don't want to live like that. Because I spend 12 or 15 hours a day in this room between my streaming and between my like recording my podcast and doing my emails and doing all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, it's too much. So I studied interior design like years ago. And so the rest of my apartment is like beautiful and light and airy and comfortable. And I was like, why don't I have that in here where I spend the majority of my time? So I like stripped a lot of the gamer aesthetic out and I brought in like plants and a humidifier and candles and some crystals and like bright colored curtains and just did all of this stuff to make it feel like the rest of my home. And then I realized that my overlays were dark gamer aesthetic and I was like, I don't want that. I want light and bright and like a extension of like, I have a really chill like vibe in my stream and I was like, I want that. Somebody said it felt like a weighted blanket for their eyes.
Aw.
Yeah. On the first
so nice.
The first day of the rebrand, they were like, this is like a warm hug. And I was like, oh, thank you. We spent so much time on it trying to get everything just right.
That's lovely.
So accurate.
Are you the type of person who like when their space is right, they are more productive? They like
So
want to work harder?
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
have ADHD as well. So if I
Oh, me too.
Oh, ADHD gang.
Yeah.
So if I don't have like a clean area, my brain can't get through the sludge to get the work done.
Same.
Something
Absolutely.
else I did that made such a difference. I used to want to control the light level in this room quite a bit. And so I had on the windows behind my desk, I had blackout material to just black everything out so I could control it. And in December, I peeled off all of it and let the natural light in. And being able to sit here and look outside and see, oh, you know, it's raining or it's snowing or look at the trees or look, a bird is weirdly like, I would go days without seeing daylight because I live in Canada. And, you know,
I kind of did a similar kind of thing where like for a long time when I quote unquote went to work, I would like close my office door, right? And then it reached a point where both my kids are now walking. I mean, Dot, a little bit. She's one. She's not great at it. But like leaving my door open and just being able to like hear them or having BB be able to like come in and say like, hi, I love you. Maybe like, thanks. And her going back is like, you know, just because I think for a while, because I worked for home, I wanted to feel like this is work. Take it seriously. It's not supposed like you don't get to do those things because it's work. And, you know, I think that a lot of the time you kind of lose sight of the fact that your greatest resource is yourself. Yeah. And like, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't renew it, you're not very creative. There's also them for me. I've been spending the last couple of days since I started doing streaming and stuff on Twitch, like slowly evolving whatever I've got in my backgrounds and like having people like make emotes for me. and investing in myself makes me feel legitimate, and not just like as a person making the content, but just like as a person who deserves to do that thing. It makes me feel special, and it's the reason I started painting my fingernails. It's the reason I started dyeing my hair. Is like investing in myself makes me feel worth it. Like, because self-validation is something I've never really been good at. And so saying like, this makes me happy, and so I'm going to chase it, is such I think an important thing that's very easy to overlook.
I had the same kind of feeling recently because I upgraded my webcam from a webcam to a Sony a6000, and it's like one of those things where I don't need to do that. Like the Logitech, people can see you, you're clear enough to be able to stream, but being able to look over at Streamlabs and see myself in that kind of clarity with that kind of depth of field and how it handles the lighting, it makes you feel like you're doing a better job, and it makes you it validates the fact that you are a professional, and that alone, whatever, like however much it improves the quality of the stream, it also makes me feel more like someone who does this professionally, and that just helps my whole outlook on Twitch.
I will also say that along those same lines, because this is something I started doing recently, and I think it's a wonderful thing that I think everyone who is a creator should do, which is like, when you upgrade your equipment, reach out to other creators and say, hey, now I've got this thing. Do you need that? Will that be an upgrade for you? And give it to them. Like, I just went through, I had all these microphones that I had left over from as I kept like trading up microphones. And I was like, I know all these people who like could use these microphones. They're collecting dust in my closet. I'm not using them. Who needs these? And I just gave them away, and it felt so good to be like,
the same thing.
Yes, please take.
Like, especially right at the beginning of quarantine last year, there was a lot of people that I knew. There were some artists who would go to like trade shows and sell their work and stuff, and obviously they couldn't do that anymore. So they were like, you're a streamer, maybe I should get into streaming. And I had one friend in particular was like, take this webcam, here's a mic, like here's what you need, get set up. If you have any questions, please let me know. And there was a couple other people who, you know, on Craigslist or something, put up a webcam for cheap, and then hearing the stories of people being like, I just got sent into work from home and I'm trying something new and I can't get a webcam anywhere to save my life. And I was like, just take it. It's just have it. It's fine. Like, if I can help, like this sucks right now, please. And so I did that because like, I'm very fortunate that this is my job and I get sent product sometime. And if I can like pass that along to people and they can use it and thrive from it, then that's so wonderful.
Well, and for a lot of people, like even just the fact of the equipment itself can be a bit of a barrier, because, you know, I can't avoid the fact that while streaming itself is not like just from go intended to be, and nor is it a super, you know, profitable endeavor, I was fortunate enough to be able to enter into it with a bit of startup capital to like get that ball rolling so I could get the equipment as the stream grew. But a lot of people don't have that opportunity. And so being able to provide even just that starter equipment means more possibly very talented content creators who are held back by something as stupid as money have the opportunity to now make a name and have a voice out there, which is always part of my agenda as well, which is why I like to work with a lot of, you know, streamers starting out, a lot of smaller streamers, just because they're fun to play with and hang out with and give them a platform.
I think something that a lot of people don't realize is they will look at a streamer like me, for example. I've been at this for a long time. I've been doing this for 5 years, and they see custom overlays and like a pretty background and great equipment, and they don't realize that I've been doing this for 5 years. I started out on an iMac with a crappy Logitech headset that I saved up all of my money for so I could buy. And like, I used that for the first however long, and then you save up a little bit and then you buy something new. And it's a roundabout kind of way that Logitech was my first ever headset. 5 years later, I'm like working alongside Logitech, and if I need something, they can send it to me.
It's a process,
but it's definitely not an overnight thing. Just know that if you're starting out, you're not expected to have all of this. Thanks so much to these patrons for all of your support. If you'd like to support these videos, check out patreon.com/Kate Stark. Link is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.